One of the first things that hooked me into Francis was a struggle with his father. Because of the struggles in my own family, I resonated with his struggle. I grew up in a divorce home. That was the real big challenge within my family. And so that led me to that question of, what is this life about? And so I think from a young person, a young adult, I was searching for unconditional love. That's really kind of what thrust me into my search. But because of that divorce, I didn't feel that in the home. So that propelled me to look outside for deeper meaning. So I dated and did all those things that young people do, looking for love in all the wrong places. And those relationships obviously were exciting at the time, but at the end left me with that emptiness that I still felt in my home, still felt in my search for the Lord. I poured out my heart in the best way that I could express myself at that time, and just asked the Lord for guidance, for help, for strength, for all of those things that I longed for, that unconditional love, that purpose. And I didn't hear anything profound. I didn't hear, the mega booming voice from heaven, but I did feel a sense of peace. I said, okay, I want to follow you. If your love is that strong for me always, if you love me that passionately always, I want that always. So I went back into my own heart and I said, okay, Lord, I don't know what that was. I don't know where you're leading me, but I'm done. I'm done doing my will. I want to do your will. Help me. I felt a rush of light and warmth and that unconditional love that I had always been searching for rush through my body. And I looked up at the altar and I saw that priest holding the Eucharist. And I knew at that point that's the place where my heart was being led to, that resurrected Christ. So my spiritual director nudged me to introduce me to the Capuchins. I actually met them at a shopping mall. In a secular setting in Colorado Springs, they have a Catholic chapel there called the Catholic Center. Once I was introduced to them, I was overwhelmed with their fraternal bonds, their love for the Lord, and with their simplicity. So that's really where the Lord kind of nudged me to see the Capuchin Franciscan spirituality. So that led me through a process of training. Led me to a place of taking vows. 3 vows in the church are poverty, chastity, and obedience. Of course, that process doesn't happen overnight, so it evolved through lots of prayer, discernment, living with the friars, serving with the friars, praying with the friars. And that whole process is an inner journey, a journey of faith, discovering who you are, through the grace of my baptism. And the friars gave me a place to discover that identity as God's son. Part of the process of becoming a priest is you have to become educated through the study of philosophy and theology. And so I was young enough, I had enough energy and enough desire to go back to school. So the friars gave me that opportunity to discover kind of my second vocation, a call within a call, if you will. The first call was to the Capuchins, and the second call was to serve as a Capuchin priest. So throughout my studies, I continued to discover the grace of what it means to be a Capuchin priest. I think it's such an important part of experiencing mercy in this conversion of faith, because without mercy, we don't have purpose. And so that desire began to emerge for me in seminary. What kind of priest do I want to become? My first assignment as a new priest led me to Fort Carson, Colorado, to serve, ironically, in the military. I had that desire early on as a kid, and the Lord led me back as a contract priest to serve in a military hospital. So I was the full-time Catholic chaplain at that hospital. That led me to being ordained in 2013 by Archbishop Chaput, a brother Capuchin as well, now the Archbishop of Philadelphia. For me, the words that ring true from my ordination is that a Capuchin priest has to be approachable and available. And to me, those words always come back, that we have to be that authentic witness of Christ to the people.